Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. This is a continuation of my target practice series. This time we will be showcasing the Eagle. Again, it is level 1. All my weapons will be level 1 from now on. Just the Predator had already been upgraded and it is unmodded. So here we go. So the Predator is, or rather the Eagle, is a machine pistol. It can be fired in semi-automatic or fully automatic. As you can see, it is far more accurate when fired in semi-automatic, though still, oh, it looks like our bullet holes are disappearing. Still very inaccurate even when fired semi-automatic. Therefore, I will just demonstrate this weapon as fired at fully automatic because it doesn't seem to make too much of a difference. So here we go. Fired from the hip at short range, fully automatic. And I will be cycling between center mass and headshots. As you can see, even at short range, this weapon is very inaccurate. Huge spread. Fired from the hip, at least. So let us try mid-range, short to mid-range. Yes, and these bullet holes are disappearing, so I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible so you can actually see what I'm talking about. So from the hip, extremely inaccurate even at mid-range. And that was including some bursts. Let's demonstrate this again with bursts. Doesn't seem to help too much, so again, I'll be just doing it fully automatic. Firing it semi-automatic and in burst really doesn't seem to make much of a difference at all. I have a feeling this weapon is really meant more to be a short-range sidearm. So continuing on to mid to long range. Fired from the hip. More of the same. And now long range from the hip. You'll notice the kick on this weapon is quite intense. Even worse. So yes, and these holes are disappearing. It gets worse and worse and worse. It really doesn't seem to matter whether or not you fire in a burst or semi-automatic or full auto. Burst and semi-automatic are a bit better, but overall it really doesn't matter in terms of accuracy fired from the hip. So now let us try firing down the sights. Much better grouping. As you can see, much better grouping when fired down the sights. Tremendous improvement. So this weapon is only effective, and even then not very effective, fired from the hip at short range. Anything beyond short range, you should be firing it down the sights. And even at short range, it was extremely inaccurate when fired, so. But your mileage may vary. So here we go at mid-range, fired down the sights. Hopefully our holes haven't disappeared yet. So getting worse, still effective at mid-range, fired down the sights, but getting worse. Significantly worse. So, it doesn't help that the holes disappear. Let us move on to mid to long range. Pretty terrible at mid to long range. Just center mass shots. Though I was really generally aiming for center mass. Let us try headshots this time. Still terrible. 2 shots hit out of 18. Pretty bad. Pretty bad accuracy. So now, long range. See if our holes are gone. Long range, that was 2 bursts, or rather 2 clips I should say. Let's try that again with just 1. Wonder why the holes disappear on this weapon. Strange. So, pretty terrible. Got about maybe 8 out of the 18 shots. Pretty bad. Let's try for headshots. As you can see, the kick on this weapon is immense. It may as well be a fully automatic assault rifle. And none of the shots hit, though several disappeared already. Unfortunate. Alright, so this weapon seems to be, even fired down the sights, only effective at short to mid-range. Fired at the hip, only effective at short range. It seems to be inconsequential as far as a firearm is concerned at mid to long and long range. Let us try with a scope. See what sort of difference that makes. Alright, short range with the scope. As you can see, makes quite a difference. Nice grouping at short range. Granted, we had nice grouping at short range without a scope, so let's see if this increases its effective range at mid. As you can see, it's pretty poor accuracy at range. It's very hard to counteract the kick on this weapon, even at mid-range. At full auto. Oops. Let's try mid to long range with the scope, with the Eagle. It would seem you really should be treating it as an assault rifle, starting in center mass and working your way up to headshots, or as an SMG. But accuracy was certainly improved at mid to long range with the scope. Certainly an improvement over just down the sights. Let's try long range. Get out 2 bursts. Hopefully at least some will still be there when we come back. And yes, definitely a stark improvement. That vast majority of the shots hit center mass. Let's try again. Really annoying that the shots disappear. Oh dear. Got way off target there. Again, very nice improvement as far as center mass shots are concerned. So, I would say, in conclusion, you may only really fire this weapon at short range from the hip. And, well, short-range shots are best from the hip, or doable at least. Then reticle is best for short and mid, and then you can essentially shoot it pretty accurately at any range with a scope. Though headshots will be a problem, you should really start at center mass and work your way up to the head. Though, let us try shooting in bursts at long range with the scope, and also shooting as semi-automatic, so... Really isn't meant to be fired in bursts. It only shoots 2 shots in a quick burst. Significantly more accurate, though, especially headshots, so that does make a difference. Now let's try semi-automatic. I'm not seeing a stark improvement. About the same as firing in bursts. Better, easier to get headshots. So, if you must get headshots at long range, make sure you have a scope and make sure to fire in bursts or semi-automatic. But full auto really won't get you anywhere at long ranges, even with a scope for the most part, as far as headshots are concerned. Alright guys, well I hope this helped anybody out there who's interested in the Eagle pistol and using it as a primary weapon. And check out my other videos, my channel if you want a playlist for this and my engineer playthrough. Like, subscribe, comment, and thanks guys. Have a good one.